Esteemed participants, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to address such a distinguished gathering, and I congratulate TRT World for this excellent organization. The theme of this year's TRT World Forum, the Global Reset, from the old order to new realities, insightfully reflects the historic crossroads our world is facing. Power structures, once considered immutable, are being reshaped by technological disruption, regional conflicts, and the deepening crisis of global governance. Global challenges such as pandemics, economic volatility, and hybrid warfare have blurred the boundaries between security, development, and diplomacy, revealing the fragility of the old order. In this context, I will examine building strategic autonomy, Türkiye, and the global defense paradigm as both a national and global response to these shifts. Türkiye's experience illustrates how a nation can strengthen its sovereignty and resilience amid systemic uncertainty, not by withdrawing from the global order, but by engaging it on more equal, innovative, and principled terms. Distinguished guests, Türkiye stands as a pivotal power shaping the evolving global security architecture. Türkiye's expanding technological base, resilient economy, and independent foreign policy vision enable it to play a constructive role not only in sustaining regional stability, but also in shaping the global understanding of security. At the same time, the country's growing defense capabilities enhance both its own deterrence posture and NATO's collective strength, particularly along the alliance's southern flank. Its experience demonstrates that technological innovation and strategic autonomy can coexist with alliance solidarity, offering a model for nations seeking to build strength without dependence. President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan has articulated Türkiye's defense philosophy with remarkable clarity. In today's world, being right is not enough. One must also be strong, protect what is right. This conviction lies at the core of Türkiye's pursuit of strategic autonomy, a doctrine born from the realization that justice without strength is unsustainable. From Bosnia to Syria, and most recently Gaza, Türkiye's historic experiences have exposed the limits of international institutions and underscored a universal truth: sovereignty must be defended through national capacity. Over the last 2 decades, Türkiye has turned this philosophy into policy. The country's localization rate in defense production has risen from 20% to over 80%, marking one of the most significant industrial transformations of the 21st century. Beyond hardware, Türkiye's defense sector has become an engine of national resilience. 3,500 companies, over 1,000 skilled professionals, skilled and young professionals indeed, and 1,400 active projects drive an export network spanning 108 countries. Last year alone, Türkiye's defense exports exceeded $7 billion. Exports are expected to surpass $10 billion threshold in a short period of time. This performance is in line with high value-added economy targets, lifting also the civilian industries by spillover effects. defense industries are not only critical for security, they are also very important for independent foreign policy as well as an economic structure which is more technological, which is based on high value-added production. So defense is not only about defense, defense is also about the welfare of the people and also international status of the state policies. Turkey today ranks among the top 3 UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle producers, and the 11th largest defense exporter globally, supplying 65% of the world's UAV exports in 2024. Indigenous platforms such as Bayraktar, TB3, Kızıl Elma, Kaan, Hürjet, Atak, TCG Anadolu, Atmaca, and Gökdoğan represent both technological achievement and strategic independence. This week, the first Altay tanks were officially delivered to the Turkish Armed Forces, marking a historic milestone in Turkey's defense modernization efforts. Through Altay's production and development process, Turkey has acquired advanced expertise in digital controls, AI-assisted decision architectures, autonomous mobility capabilities, and next-generation active protection suites. Building on these achievements, Turkey is now preparing to develop even more sophisticated next-generation land platforms, further strengthening its industrial and strategic autonomy. The Steel Dome project, currently in phased development, aims to establish a multi-layered national air and missile defense network integrating radar, satellite, and AI-supported interception technologies. It symbolizes Turkey's ambition to ensure full spectrum protection of its skies, complementing the Hisar, Siper, and Göktuğ systems. This success was the outcome of a deliberate vision, one that combined national determination with a long-term commitment to innovation and self-reliance. Turkey has become a nation that is no longer a follower, but one that is followed. A country developing advanced weapon systems, defense software, and electronic warfare modules closely observed even by major powers. Turkey's strategic autonomy represents a national ethos of self-determination and resilience, a conviction that living with dignity requires the strength to act independently when necessary. Distinguished participants, in today's complex security landscape, Turkey's defense industry has evolved beyond a national capability. It has become a central instrument of diplomacy. Turkey's expanding network of defense partnerships, stretching from Europe to Asia and Africa, reflects how defense cooperation can now complement and reinforce its foreign policy vision. The Eurofighter Typhoon agreement with the United Kingdom, the joint production of Milgem corvettes with Pakistan, and multi-domain cooperation with Indonesia in the Kaan fifth-generation fighter program illustrate the strategic depth of Turkey's engagement. These initiatives have built an ecosystem of trust grounded in shared security goals and technological exchange. Defense diplomacy serves as a bridge between hard power and peace building. In this context of regional and global peace and security, we have always actively contributed to UN, NATO, and EU missions. Turkey plays a pivotal role in countering terrorism in all its forms, from FETÖ and PKK-YPG to Daesh, as one of the most persistent threats to regional peace and security. Turkey's ability to design, produce, and export advanced defense systems has provided it with a new dimension of diplomatic leverage, enabling it to mediate, de-escalate, and contribute to reconstruction in conflict-affected regions. From facilitating negotiations between Russia and Ukraine and ensuring the safe passage of grain shipments through the Black Sea, to contributing to Syria's post-conflict stabilization and reconstruction, and advocating for a just and lasting ceasefire and humanitarian relief in Gaza, Turkey has consistently shown that security and diplomacy are not opposing domains, but mutually reinforcing responsibilities. In Gaza, unfortunately, Netanyahu government is doing everything possible to break the already fragile ceasefire and continuously looking for excuses to disrupt the existing situation. And we are very anxious about this attitude. The international community was already too late to interfere and provide a relatively peaceful environment for humanitarian assistance and for longer-term reconstruction of Gaza. But unfortunately, the situation is still fragile. The international community, the countries that have contributed to break this deal should be closely involved in the situation. As Turkey, we are doing everything possible to uphold this ceasefire, to send enough and uninterrupted humanitarian assistance to the Gaza, and also we are ready to contribute for long-term reconstruction and also permanent peace in the region through two-state solution. In all these efforts, Turkey's determination to transform strategic autonomy into a force for global security. This multi-dimensional approach transforms Turkey's strategic autonomy from a doctrine of self-reliance into a practice of constructive engagement. Combining defense capability with humanitarian vision and diplomatic engagement, Turkey acts as an active architect of regional and global stability. In this sense, defense diplomacy has become both the expression and extension of Turkey's broader pursuit of strategic autonomy as a model that links national strength with international responsibility. Turkey today holds a central position in shaping the global defense paradigm through its technological innovation, regional stability, vision, and humanitarian diplomacy. Looking ahead, Turkey will continue to deepen its strategic autonomy, reinforcing its security while contributing to the creation of fair, balanced, and resilient international order. We are aware of the fact that we are going through a transformation nowadays at the global level. The old order is dead, but there is no new structures, orders. In trade, in diplomacy, in many areas, rule-based international order is weakened. And now there are two paths. One path is to go through this, chaotic situation and look for individual countries all looking for their self-interest without any concern for the interest of others or the common interest. And the other path is to look for a new rule-based order, maybe not the old one, but a revised one, a new world order which is also based on equity, on international rules, on structures that will be inclusive for all parts of the world. And President Erdogan when he says that the world is bigger than five, this is not just the reform of the United Nations Security Council. This is indeed a call for a fairer global order, economically, politically, and more inclusive rule-based global structures. Distinguished participants, through its growing capabilities, principled diplomacy, and steadfast commitment to peace and stability, Turkey continues to pursue a vision of strength rooted in responsibility. At the dawn of the century of Turkey, our approach to building strategic autonomy, Turkey and the global defense paradigm embodies this very understanding, ensuring national resilience with contributing to global security and justice. I sincerely hope that the deliberations of this forum will further advance this shared vision. We know that as Turkey, we cannot create a world, a fairer world by our own individual efforts. We need alliances. We need more international dialogue, cooperation, participation, partnership for realizing this new order. This is not going to be one order imposed upon the world with a central power. It will be more based on partnership. That's why it is very important to have such international gatherings, international perspectives for the future of our region and global conditions. I would like to once again express my appreciation to the TRT World family and all contributors to this meaningful event, and convey my best wishes for their continued success in representing Turkey's voice with integrity and professionalism on the global scale. Thank you very much.